Over 60. 4 worst vegetables you should never touch, and 4 you must eat for muscle strength. You've been taught your whole life that all vegetables are healthy, right? But that's a dangerous story, almost a deadly myth. Shocking new studies show that some vegetables, which seem harmless, can silently spike your blood sugar, inflame your joints, and even increase your risk of death by 83%. And 99% of people over 60 have no idea. In this video, we're going to reveal the 4 vegetables you should eat every day and the 4 you should never touch, ranked by how dangerous or life-saving they really are for your muscle strength. And the worst part, the number 1 vegetable, the most dangerous of all, is probably in your kitchen right now, and a study found that it can increase the risk of serious heart problems by 91%. But the right vegetables? Those can reduce inflammation, boost your memory, and even add 12 years of life full of vitality and strong muscles. Before we dive in, tell me in the comments, what city are you watching us from? Now, without further ado, let's start with the good vegetables, ranked from least to most powerful for your muscles. 4 best vegetables for your muscle strength. 4. Red cabbage, the secret guardian of your muscles. Red cabbage may look like an ordinary vegetable, but what it does inside your body is extraordinary. For older people, it is one of the most underrated protectors against inflammation, which is a major enemy of muscle strength. That deep purple color comes from something called anthocyanins. Think of them as little natural cops that act as antioxidants. That means they enter your bloodstream and absorb free radicals, which are small unstable molecules that damage your cells and speed up aging, including the aging of your muscles. When it comes to inflammation, anthocyanins are especially powerful. A 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older people who ate more anthocyanin-rich vegetables, such as red cabbage, had a 24% lower risk of heart disease compared to those who didn't. And a healthy heart means that blood flows well to your muscles, delivering the nutrients they need to stay strong. But it's not just your heart. Red cabbage is also good for your gut, which is essential for the absorption of nutrients by your muscles. It is full of fiber and natural prebiotics, which feed the good bacteria in your gut. This is very important after the age of 60, because gut health directly affects your immune system and how your body uses nutrients. A healthier gut means fewer infections, less bloating, and better absorption of nutrients from the foods you eat. Your body becomes more efficient at using what you eat. And at this stage of life, that makes a huge difference to your vitality and muscle maintenance. The best way to prepare red cabbage is raw or cooked very quickly. When you overcook it, the anthocyanins break down. If you want the maximum benefit for your muscles, try slicing it very thinly in salads or mixing it into a coleslaw with a little olive oil and apple cider vinegar. This combination is not only tasty, but it also improves nutrient absorption. For cooked options, sautéing it for just a few minutes helps preserve its power. Add garlic or turmeric for an even more anti-inflammatory effect. Red cabbage is inexpensive, easy to find, and lasts for weeks in the refrigerator. For something so simple, it offers a huge return, especially if you are struggling with joint pain, high blood pressure, or poor digestion, which indirectly affect your muscle strength. It may not seem fancy, but it works where it matters most, inside your body. 3. Okra, the surprising ally of muscle stability. Okra is often overlooked because of its slightly slimy texture when cooked, but if you're over 60, this green vegetable may be just what your body needs for more muscle stability and energy. What makes okra so valuable for older people is its effect on blood sugar. Inside okra, there are soluble fibers called mucilage. This gelatinous substance helps slow down the rate at which sugar is absorbed into your intestine. This is important because as you age, your body becomes more resistant to insulin. And insulin is what helps your cells pull sugar from the bloodstream and turn it into energy for your muscles. When this system starts to fail, sugar builds up in the blood, damaging blood vessels and increasing the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and kidney problems. And when energy doesn't reach your muscles properly, they weaken. But okra changes that. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Food Science and Nutrition found that people who ate okra daily for 8 weeks saw a more than 20% drop in fasting blood sugar. That's the kind of improvement you'd normally expect from prescription drugs, but without the side effects. Okra also contains antioxidants such as quercetin and flavonoids, which reduce oxidative stress in the brain. This is especially helpful for older people who struggle with brain fog, poor memory, or early cognitive decline, as a clear mind is essential for coordination and efficient muscle use. In addition, okra is rich in vitamin K, which aids in blood clotting and bone health, crucial for preventing falls and fractures, which directly protects the foundation for your muscles. There is also a high amount of folate in okra, which aids in red blood cell formation and overall energy levels. Another key factor in aging well with strong muscles. To get the most out of okra, it is best to cook it quickly and with little oil. Steaming it lightly or adding it to soups and stews helps reduce the slimy texture while keeping all the nutrients intact. If you want to reduce the slime even more, soak it in vinegar for 30 minutes before cooking. Roasted okra also works well. Just slice it, toss it with olive oil and a pinch of salt, and roast it at a high temperature until crispy. You get fiber, antioxidants, and blood sugar benefits, all in one food. Okra may not be your favorite vegetable at first, but once you understand how it supports blood sugar, heart health, and brain clarity, it's worth finding a way to enjoy it. This is a vegetable that works over time to keep your aging body balanced, firm and strong in the muscles. 2. Beets, the natural dilator for more vigorous muscles. Beets aren't just a colorful root, they're one of the most powerful natural tools for opening up your blood vessels. And after 60, that matters more than ever for the health and strength of your muscles. As we age, the inner walls of our arteries become stiffer. This makes it harder for blood to flow, raising your blood pressure and putting extra strain on your heart. And when blood doesn't flow well, your muscles get less oxygen and nutrients, which weakens them. But beets change that. They contain high levels of natural nitrates. These compounds are converted in your body into nitric oxide, which acts as a muscle relaxant for your blood vessels. It helps them widen, improves blood flow, and reduces the overall load on your heart. A 2019 clinical study in hypertension research found that drinking beet juice daily for just 4 weeks lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 11 points in older people. Better circulation also means better brain health. Your brain needs steady blood flow to stay sharp, focused, and responsive, and beets deliver. In a 2017 study published in the Journals of Gerontology, older adults who consumed beets before exercising had increased blood flow to the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for memory and decision-making. That means beets not only protect your heart, but also help preserve your mind, which is vital for maintaining coordination and muscle control. Beets are also rich in betalains, a group of antioxidants that fight inflammation at the cellular level. This is especially helpful if you are dealing with joint pain, arthritis, or any type of chronic discomfort, as constant inflammation attacks muscle fibers. In addition, they contain folate and manganese, two nutrients that support red blood cell production and energy metabolism. This is crucial when energy declines becomes more common after age 60. To get the most out of beets in your daily drink, try roasting them in the oven until they are soft. This brings out their natural sweetness and keeps their nutrients intact. You can also blend them into smoothies with a little apple and ginger for a healthy and powerful drink. Beet juice also works, but make sure it's 100% pure with no added sugars. If you're short on time, pre-cooked vacuum-packed beets are a great option. Just slice and eat. If your legs seem to have aged 10 years overnight, beets may be your way back. Not only do they improve blood flow, they rebuild your collagen highways from the inside out, ensuring your muscles get everything they need to thrive. 1. Kale, the superfood for muscle longevity. Kale is more than just a trendy superfood. It's the #1 vegetable older people should eat every day. What makes kale so powerful is how it supports so many systems in the body at once, all of which are vital to your muscle strength. First, it's loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin. These are carotenoids, natural pigments that specifically protect your eyes and brain. After age 60, your risk of macular degeneration and cognitive decline increases significantly, but kale can help slow both. A 2020 study published in Neurology found that older people who consumed high levels of lutein and zeaxanthin had a 32% slower cognitive decline compared to those who ate less. That means a sharper memory, better focus, and more independence as you age, which translates into more ability to use your muscles. Kale also offers an incredible boost to your heart. It is rich in potassium, which balances the sodium in your diet and helps lower blood pressure. It also contains magnesium, a mineral that many older people don't get enough of, which helps regulate heartbeat and lower the risk of irregular rhythms. And with its high vitamin K content, kale supports strong bones and prevents arterial calcification, where calcium builds up inside your blood vessels and increases the risk of heart attack. Just 1 cup of kale provides over 600% of your daily vitamin K needs. In addition, kale is packed with anti-inflammatory compounds such as kaempferol and glucosinolates. These work deep within your cells to block chronic inflammation, which is the root cause of heart disease, diabetes, and joint pain, and is also a major villain for muscle mass. A 2018 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience linked regular kale consumption to improved neural activity in aging brains, especially in areas related to memory and sensory processing, which are essential for muscle coordination. To get the most out of kale, avoid eating it raw in large quantities, as raw kale contains compounds that can interfere with thyroid function, especially if you already have thyroid problems. Light cooking solves this. Sautéing it in olive oil with garlic for just 3 to 5 minutes preserves the nutrients and eliminates the risk. You can also steam it or blend it into soups for a smooth texture. For a snack option, try homemade kale chips. Simply tear the leaves, lightly coat them with olive oil, sprinkle with sea salt, and bake at a low temperature until crisp. Kale is inexpensive, easy to find, and keeps well in the refrigerator. And unlike many supplements or powders, your body knows exactly how to absorb it. When it comes to keeping your brain sharp, your heart strong, your body resilient, and your muscles healthy, kale is the most important vegetable you can eat. If you only change one food this week, make it this one. Now that you know the 4 vegetables that can heal your heart, protect your brain, and keep your body strong after 60, it's time for the other side of the truth. These next 4 vegetables may seem innocent, but they are silently wreaking havoc on your blood sugar, inflaming your joints and damaging your organs every time you eat them, directly undermining your ability to build and protect your muscles. Let's dive into the 4 vegetables you should never touch. Ranked from least to most dangerous. 4 worst vegetables for your muscle strength. 4. Corn, the sugar deceiver for muscles. Corn may seem harmless, especially since it appears in everything from summer barbecues to canned soups. But when you're over 60, corn becomes more of a hidden threat than most people realize. It's not because of its taste or fiber, it's because of what it does to your blood sugar. Corn is a high glycemic vegetable, which means it spikes your blood sugar quickly, faster than some sugary cereals. And when your blood sugar spikes, insulin floods your system. Over time, your cells become resistant, which is how older people slip silently into prediabetes or full-blown type 2 diabetes without knowing it. This blood sugar roller coaster affects your muscle energy. In a 2020 study published in Diabetes Care, older adults who regularly consumed high glycemic vegetables like corn had a 46% higher risk of insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease. And unlike complex carbohydrates found in lentils or whole grains, corn doesn't give you lasting energy. It gives you a short burst, followed by a crash. This roller coaster effect stresses your heart and confuses your body's hormonal balance, which impairs muscle recovery and growth. If you still enjoy corn occasionally, portion control is key, but it shouldn't be a staple on your plate. Replace it with low glycemic vegetables like cauliflower or zucchini, which support stable energy and better blood sugar. And avoid creamed corn, canned corn with added sugars, and anything labeled as sweet corn, which has been specifically bred to have even more sugar. Corn isn't poison, but for older people it's a silent disruptor of your muscle energy. It's easy to overlook because it's so common, but over time, its effects add up, leading to unstable blood sugar, weight gain, and increased heart strain, all of which impact your muscle strength. If you're eating it frequently, now is the time to cut back and make a smarter swap. 3. Potatoes, the comfort food deceiver. Potatoes are often seen as a comfort food, but for older people, they can become a hidden health trap. They're starchy, heavy, and extremely high on the glycemic index, which means they cause a quick spike in blood sugar after eating. That spike leads to a rise in insulin, followed by a crash. Over time, this roller coaster effect weakens insulin sensitivity, exhausts your pancreas, and stimulates fat accumulation around your organs. And that excess fat doesn't do your muscles any favors. A 2016 study in the BMJ followed more than 70,000 adults and found that those who ate potatoes 4 or more times a week had a 33% higher risk of developing high blood pressure, a major warning sign after age 60 that impairs blood flow to the muscles. Potatoes are also low in protective compounds that come from more colorful vegetables. They don't offer much fiber, unless you eat the skin, and most people don't. What's more, they're often cooked in the worst possible ways: fried, mashed with butter, or drowned in salt. This turns a bland starch into a complete cardiovascular hazard. French fries have been linked to inflammation of the arteries due to the formation of acrylamides, a toxic compound that develops during high-temperature cooking. When you add salt or cheese, sodium levels skyrocket, putting even more strain on aging kidneys and blood vessels. Even when boiled, potatoes release glucose quickly, causing spikes that can be harmful if you already deal with weight gain, fatigue, or a slow metabolism. Older people who eat potatoes frequently often notice that they feel more tired after meals. This is because the high carbohydrate load overloads the body's energy system, and when this happens daily, it leads to insulin resistance, nerve damage, and eventually type 2 diabetes or heart disease, all of which rob your muscles of strength. If you love potatoes, you don't have to give them up completely, but they should be a treat, not a habit. Swap them for sweet potatoes occasionally, which have a lower glycemic index and contain more fiber and antioxidants. Bake them with olive oil and cinnamon instead of frying or mashing them with butter. But regular white potatoes, especially when fried or processed, should not be a regular side dish for anyone over 60. They are cheap, satisfying, and familiar, but they also fuel the very conditions that older people need to avoid: blood sugar instability, high blood pressure, and inflammation, all of which are enemies of muscle strength. After 60, every bite counts, and with potatoes, the risks outweigh the comfort. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the video so far, please like it here. Just press the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any more videos like this. 2. Eggplant. The hidden risk to your muscles and joints. Eggplant is often praised for being low in calories, but for older people, this purple vegetable carries hidden risks that can silently wreak havoc on the body. The main problem lies in a group of natural compounds called alkaloids. These substances are part of the plant's natural defense system, but in sensitive individuals, especially older adults, they can trigger inflammation in the joints, muscles, and even the digestive system. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Pharmacology highlighted that alkaloids such as solanine and niacin, found in eggplant, can increase oxidative stress and interfere with nerve signaling when consumed in large or frequent amounts. This means that for older people dealing with arthritis, muscle stiffness, or nerve pain, eggplant may worsen symptoms rather than improve them. Many older adults report increased joint pain or fatigue after eating dishes containing eggplant, especially if it is grilled or fried. What's worse is that eggplant tends to absorb a lot of oil during cooking, and the combination of oil, heat, and alkaloids creates a pro-inflammatory environment within the body. This inflammation spreads silently, affecting circulation and even increasing blood pressure over time. And inflammation is a major enemy of muscle strength, as it destroys fibers and prevents recovery. Eggplant also contains oxalates, which are compounds that can contribute to the formation of kidney stones. After age 60, kidney function naturally declines. When oxalates accumulate, they can form calcium oxalate stones, which are painful and dangerous. A 2019 study in Neurology Annals found that high intake of oxalate-rich vegetables significantly increased the risk of kidney stones in older adults, with reduced kidney function. And compromised kidneys mean less detoxification for the body, which affects the entire system, including the muscles. The texture of eggplant also makes it difficult to digest for some older people, especially if it is not cooked thoroughly or served with the skin on. This can lead to bloating, gas, or intestinal irritation, particularly for those with sensitive stomachs or a history of reflux. If you are going to eat eggplant, it should be cooked thoroughly and prepared in small portions. Removing the skin and soaking the slices in salt water can reduce the bitterness and remove some of the problematic compounds. But even with proper preparation, eggplant remains a high-risk vegetable for older people with inflammatory conditions, kidney problems, or digestive issues. There are much better options that offer antioxidants without the problems. It may look pretty on your plate, but after age 60, eggplant is one of those vegetables that could be quietly doing more harm than good to your strength. 1. Canned tomatoes, the silent bomb for your muscle health. Tomatoes themselves aren't the problem. In fact, fresh tomatoes can be quite beneficial to your overall health. The real danger for older people is canned tomatoes. They seem convenient, affordable, and perfect for soups, sauces, and stews. But what most people over 60 don't realize is that canned tomatoes are a toxic combination of acidic food and chemically coated metal, which poses a serious threat to your heart, hormones, and even your brain, all of which impact your muscle strength. Here's how it works. The inside of most cans is lined with a chemical called BPA, or bisphenol A. It's used to prevent the metal from rusting and to extend the shelf life of the product. But BPA is a known endocrine disruptor, which means it messes with your body's hormones, especially estrogen and testosterone. As you age, your hormone levels are already declining, and exposure to BPA further upsets this balance, increasing the risk of weight gain, fatigue, mood swings, and even heart arrhythmias. And balanced hormones, especially testosterone, are essential for maintaining muscle mass and strength. A 2020 study published in Environmental Research found that adults with the highest levels of BPA in their blood had a 91% higher risk of heart disease compared to those with the lowest levels. Tomatoes make this worse because they are acidic. This acid breaks down the BPA coating on the can, causing it to leach directly into the tomatoes. So every time you eat canned tomatoes, you're not just getting lycopene or vitamin C, you're getting a dose of a chemical that has been linked to serious problems such as cancer, heart failure, and hormonal imbalance. Older people are especially at risk because their livers become less efficient at processing toxins as they age. This means that BPA builds up faster, causing more damage in less time, which leads to inflammation and overall weakening of the body, including the muscles. Canned tomatoes are also usually loaded with salt. 1 cup of canned tomato sauce can contain over 500 milligrams of sodium. That's almost a quarter of the recommended daily limit, and it adds up quickly when you use tomato products in pasta, stews, and casseroles. High sodium intake raises blood pressure, hardens your arteries, and overworks your kidneys. If you already deal with high blood pressure or take heart medication, this kind of sodium load can be extremely dangerous. And of course, all of this affects your body's health and consequently your muscle strength. The solution is simple but critical. Switch to tomato sauces in glass jars or make your own from fresh tomatoes. If you must use canned, choose brands that are clearly labeled BPA-free, although even these may still pose some risk. And always rinse tomatoes before using to reduce sodium. Roasting fresh tomatoes with garlic and olive oil can give you all the flavor without any of the chemicals. You get the lycopene, the heart protection, and no hormonal chaos. Canned tomatoes may seem harmless, but for older people, they are a slow-acting chemical trap that can sabotage your hormones, spike your blood pressure, and accelerate aging from the inside out. It's one of the most common mistakes in older people's diets and the easiest to fix today. After age 60, every bite you take either builds you up or tears you down. And now you know the truth. Not all vegetables are safe. Some will feed your heart, your brain, and your energy, helping your muscles stay strong. Others can silently raise your blood sugar, spike your blood pressure, and accelerate the aging process without you even noticing, until it's too late. Good vegetables protect you, fight inflammation, boost memory, and balance hormones naturally. The bad ones pretend to be healthy, but silently erode your strength, your gut, and even your kidneys. But now you're armed with the truth and can take back control. So tell us in the comments, which vegetable shocked you the most today? And if you want more science-based nutrition advice to stay strong, steady, and independent well into your 70s and beyond, click the subscribe button now. Your body deserves better than guesswork. Let's get it right together. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.